Hello, Serge here from the back porch. I had a lesson recently with one of my longtime students. You've heard me talk about him before, KK. KK is from Greenville, and I've been teaching him for over 7 years now. And I started teaching him when he was about this big. And the thing that really came to I guess reality check for me was when I hadn't seen him probably in about 4 or 5 months through the winter, and he showed up yesterday, and I'm just about almost looking to him eye to eye. And I said to him, whoa. So I looked at him and I said, well, how tall are you? And he said, probably right now, I think the last time we measured I was 5'8". I said, well, if I haven't shrunk my inch, I'm still got you by an inch. And I said, well, what grade are you now? Because he started talking about the fact that he's going off for the high school team. I said, what are you, 12 years old now or whatever? And in 6th grade or something, you're on a high school team? He said, and his dad laughed, and he laughed, and he looked at me and he said, I'm 14 now, and I'm in the 9th grade. And I said, holy cannoli, man, have I lost track of time? And so that was how that lesson started off. But he, as I said, Kay has been working with me for over 7 years, and he basically, without a doubt, has the Serge swing down pretty good, but we're always massaging things. And as usual, the big issue today, on that day, was the setup. And his dad brought his camera and showed me some pictures of him, and he said, and when he called me to set the lesson up, he told me that Kay was swinging kind of flat, and the club was getting laid off at the top, and his finish was coming around a little bit flat, and you know, we need to see what's going on, because he's hitting a lot of, and he's a lefty, so he was hitting a lot of flares out to the left, you know, which would be blocks, and then hitting some pulls. And here's what really happened, and I see this with a lot of folks. He got in here and he started bending over and reaching too much. Okay? That's what it looks like from this view. But I want to do it more from this back view so you can see what happens in the backswing. If you reach, if you stop bending over too much, and the center of gravity of your swing, that's where when we lift our arms into the catcher's mitten up the tree, the end of the string comes up to the neck on this side, and then when I turn around and swing through this side, the back arm becomes a string and it comes up around the center of the neck. So we swing around the neck, not the middle of the chest like rotational swingers do, the top of the chest. And so if you're stretched over too much, and this and the center of gravity of your swing as compared to your belt buckle at the bottom of your spine where the center of gravity of your body is, if the swing center gets too far out, you cannot lift the club up. You're going to fall forward every time. So if you can't really lift the club up, what does the balance mechanism do immediately? It immediately says, okay, what can I do to get this player to be able to somewhat swing up? So it starts doing what? It starts pulling the club inside very fast to get the arms under or inside the swing center and then come up. But at that point in time, you're not really going up as much because you started sucking the club inside, and the first thing you know, your hands and club are inside the toe line, so you're inside the sacred burial ground, and you're going back flat and laid off. And then conversely, once you come back down from that position, you can, if you come straight down from there, like as if you were more vertical, coming straight down the line, square on line, now you're coming down slightly more from the inside, there's the blocks. Okay? And so to stop that, there's a little bit more of this coming out, and all it takes is a little bit more coming over the top, and then you conversely have the pulls. So what all we had to do with Kay was to just get him to stand up taller. And I mean, it was like pulling teeth here to get him to stand taller and taller. And realistically, I mean, it was so beautiful for him to do that because he's 5'8", he's nice and thin, he's got height to his advantage, which is going to make him nice and vertical. His dad is 6 foot, just under 6'2", and he's got all of those things to be nice and tall, to have that nice high, long, you know, arc that's going to help him get more club head speed because of his height. But yet he was basically losing all of that by being bent over and out of balance. But you know, we got him in here where we got him all the way up and standing in here like this, and still has a slight bend over, bend at the waist, and the knees flexing in more. Because again, when he was like this, I should have mentioned it earlier, as this goes out too far, what happens? The knees go back and they're kind of relatively straight to try to help support you, to help stop that falling into the ball. So we had to work a little bit more of that. When the spine came up, the knees had to flex, so he got back into the accordion effect where the knees and the spine go down, and got his hands right down well underneath his chin. And then next thing you know, boom, the club is straight backing up. And with the club coming straight backing up, he's coming back to impact, getting up to a better T finish right there, and recoiling. But his recoil was coming out to the side. We had to get it back down in here. But immediately, the ball striking improved. He was hitting the ball pretty solid the other way, but he had that big dispersion. But his ball striking improved. But the biggest thing that improved was his trajectory as it went out in the air. Instead of hitting little bullets, he was really hitting some nice height. And with the height, just like that, he was hitting the ball consistently longer. And so all that came together. And the other good thing about what happened with Kay was that he also had just been recently to Lynn Griffin for a complete club fitting, and he had a whole new set of clubs, forged blades, and the smaller driver head that now we definitely believe in. And the only club he didn't change was his 3-wood. Lynn said his 3-wood was still pretty good, but all his other clubs he had outgrown them. So he had a longer set and everything else. So it was even easier for him to stand up because he had the longer clubs. And so, but it took a little work to get him in there close enough because he'd become so comfortable reaching. All right, but it improved his ball striking and especially improved his launch angle, which gave him more air time and much better and trajectory carry, and he was hitting the ball longer. And had a nice little flight pattern to it. So all of that fell together just by improving his setup. And as you know, the setup determines the motion. Well, Kay improved by checking his posture. Check yours. Make sure that you're in that good, dynamically balanced, athletically ready posture, and it'll help improve your ball striking, which hit the ball better, score better, shoot lower scores. Well, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.